What if one fire never started, and humanity never lost 500 years? Inside this city stood a building that held the entire world's knowledge under one roof. Mathematics, medicine, astronomy, philosophy, every secret the ancient world ever discovered, here. Then one night, it was nearly erased from existence and the world almost went dark forever. But what if the fire never came, and that library never stopped growing? This is not just history, this is the story of everything humanity could have become. 300 years before Christ, Alexandria was the most advanced city on earth. Ptolemy I had one dream: collect every book ever written, from everywhere. He built the greatest library in history, home to over 700,000 scrolls. Scholars came from every corner of the world, paid by the king to discover. Euclid wrote geometry here. Archimedes solved problems inside these very walls. Eratosthenes measured the Earth's circumference with a stick and a shadow correctly. Herophilus mapped the nervous system 1700 years before modern science caught up. This was humanity's greatest age of discovery, all inside one place. Then came wars, politics, neglect, and finally, the fires. Not one, but many. Caesar's soldiers may have started one blaze. Others finished the rest over centuries. With every scroll that burned, discoveries that could have changed everything simply vanished. The world slipped into the Dark Ages. 1,000 years where progress slowed to a crawl. But what if none of that happened? What if Alexandria never fell? Let us rewind history and ask a question that changes everything. The year is 48 BC. Julius Caesar is trapped in Alexandria. His soldiers wait. In this timeline, the order never comes. The torch never ignites. The library survives. Every scroll, every formula, every idea preserved and growing. Within a generation, medical knowledge leaps forward, not by decades, but by centuries. By 100 AD, surgeons perform procedures our world wouldn't see for hundreds of years. Hospitals evolve. Infection is understood early. The Black Death may never happen. Europe never fully collapses into darkness. Cities expand. Minds keep working. Archimedes' lost machine designs are no longer lost, they are studied, built, improved. Hero of Alexandria created a primitive steam device. In our world, it stayed a curiosity. Here, backed by generations of knowledge, that curiosity becomes the first true engine. The Industrial Revolution doesn't wait until 1760, it begins over 1,000 years earlier. Cities grow safer, brighter, more organized, not in the 1800s, but during the Age of Rome. Aristarchus already knew the Earth orbited the Sun. That knowledge is never lost. Instead of being rediscovered centuries later, it becomes the foundation of early astronomy. Telescopes emerge hundreds of years earlier. By 500 AD, the sky is no longer a mystery. Step by step, the ancient world moves closer to electricity, this time, without interruption or loss. Roman engineering was already advanced for its time, now imagine it evolving continuously for centuries. A Rome that doesn't fall but keeps building, refining, expanding forward without pause. Meanwhile, the library keeps growing steadily, absorbing knowledge from India, China, Persia, and far beyond. The concept of zero arrives much earlier, accelerating mathematics far ahead of its time. Algebra follows soon after. Then early forms of calculus begin to emerge naturally over time. Better mathematics leads to far better navigation and safer, longer voyages across unknown waters. By 500 AD, ships are finally capable of reaching distant continents across vast oceans. The Americas are discovered centuries ahead of time, but under completely different circumstances. First contact may be trade and cooperation, not conquest, not destruction. To civilizations meeting as equals, reshaping the entire course of history forever. Back in Alexandria, another breakthrough quietly begins to change everything again. Early forms of germ theory slowly begin to take shape centuries before Pasteur ever existed. Over time, this knowledge spreads further, reducing the impact of deadly plagues worldwide. The Black Death, which devastated Europe, may never reach that catastrophic scale at all. Population grows more steadily. Stability begins to replace collapse across entire civilizations. The library evolves into something entirely new, the world's first true university system. Printing emerges much earlier, allowing knowledge to spread faster than ever before in history. Ideas multiply rapidly. Information becomes nearly impossible to suppress or fully control, but not everyone welcomes this shift. Power fears an educated and aware population. The greatest threat was never fire, but those who truly feared knowledge itself. So the scholars adapt, carefully protecting dangerous ideas while continuing to expand knowledge. Empires rise and fall around them, but the library quietly endures through it all. Scientific progress accelerates steadily, not in bursts, but continuously, compounding over long centuries. By 1000 AD, humanity has already reached a level of knowledge our world wouldn't see for another 1,000 years. Let that sink in deeply. The year 1000 AD, and humanity has already achieved what took us until 2000 to reach. Microscopes exist in early form. Germ theory is textbook knowledge. The periodic table is being assembled carefully, scroll by scroll. Deep within Alexandria's vast archives, a discovery begins slowly taking shape across generations of thinkers. Ancient atomic theory evolves, gradually refined step by step through centuries of careful experimentation. By around 500 AD, they begin to understand the deeper structure of matter itself. At its core level, atomic energy becomes a real possibility long before modern history ever imagined such power could exist. Here is where the story becomes complicated, where the what-if turns dangerous and unpredictable. What do you do when you discover something that can power a city, or destroy an entire civilization completely? They do what every advanced civilization eventually does: they lock it away, and wait cautiously. Political power has changed completely over time. Without the Dark Ages, no fragmented nation system ever forms. A single vast empire stretching from Spain to India controls the entire Mediterranean without collapse. Democratic ideas preserved from ancient Athens have had centuries more to evolve and spread widely. An educated population begins demanding rights much earlier. Slavery built on ignorance starts weakening faster. When people can read, when they can reason, when they know history, oppression becomes much harder to sustain. Hypatia of Alexandria, murdered in our timeline in 415 AD, survives here, and continues her groundbreaking work. Her mathematical work on orbital mechanics survives, grows, and accelerates astronomy by over 12 centuries. By 1200 AD in this world, the Wright brothers' achievement has already happened nearly 8 centuries early. Flight changes everything: trade, connection, exploration. Every discovery accelerates every other discovery. Communication technology develops rapidly. Messages cross continents in hours, not months or years. By 1500 AD, when Columbus was sailing in our world, this civilization is already reaching toward the stars. They know exactly what the moon is. They have mapped Mars. They know distances to nearby stars. And now in 1600 AD of this alternate timeline, they attempt something that completely stops the world's breath. A rocket launching from Alexandria itself nearly 1400 years before Sputnik ever exists. It reaches orbit successfully. The signal returns, and the entire planet falls silent for one moment. A unified human civilization, not divided nations, has reached space together for the first time. And at the center of it all, still standing, still growing, the Library of Alexandria continues to live on. But one question begins haunting every advanced civilization: can wisdom truly keep pace with overwhelming power? The most dangerous knowledge is still locked away, but secrets never remain locked forever. Someone always finds the key. Power corrupts, always has, always will. A civilization advanced enough for stars is also capable of self-destruction. The greatest gift in human history, knowledge, is also humanity's most dangerous weapon when misused. The scholars who built this civilization now face their final test. Can knowledge outrun the hunger for power? They make a decision that defines everything: what kind of civilization they truly are, and choose to become. They distribute dangerous knowledge across thousands of libraries worldwide, ensuring no single power can control it. Knowledge distributed cannot be burned. Knowledge shared cannot be controlled. This becomes their ultimate safeguard. The civilization survives its greatest crisis not through war, but through radical sharing of knowledge itself. By what would have been our year 2000, this civilization has already traveled between planets for over 4 centuries. Mars is fully colonized. Disease is largely eliminated. Average human lifespan reaches nearly 140 years. Every child has access to over 4,000 years of unbroken human knowledge, completely free and open. And at its center, the original library still stands proudly, still expanding, still the heart of everything. Built by ancient hands, preserved by every generation that refused to let knowledge die or disappear again. But that is not our world today. In our reality, the library burned and we are still recovering from it. Only fragments survived, whispered memories of what was lost, hints of discoveries never rediscovered in time. We reached the moon in 1969. In Alexandria's surviving world, they were already there by the year 200. Diseases we still struggle to cure today, their answers may have existed on scrolls lost forever in 391 AD. Many of our world's divisions trace back to the chaos that followed Alexandria's destruction. One single fire. We are still a civilization rebuilding, still recovering from that ancient fire 2,000 years ago. The library burned, but the impulse that built it never disappeared. It still exists in every curious mind. Every scientist, every teacher, every engineer today continues the work that began in those ancient halls. We are still building that library in spirit. We have never truly stopped building it. The real question was never what if Alexandria survived, but whether we will choose to build it again ourselves.